Hello and welcome to Cali Legends Media. Okay, before I begin speaking, I wanted to reiterate that we're still shooting for that 7,000 subscriber mark. And at the end of that goal, when we reach that goal, we'll be having that raffle for the t-shirts. I already got the t-shirts. We don't have many more subscribers to go. I think we need like another 40 subscribers. So as soon as that happens, I'll let you guys know what day the raffle's going to be. If you're a frequent watcher and you haven't subscribed, if you could, hit that subscribe button down below. Set that notification bell on all so you'll be notified whenever a video drops or whenever we go live. Also, please don't forget to hit that like button. I don't like mentioning that, but if I don't, I get way less likes. When I mention it, they seem to be a higher number of likes, and that really helps a content creator. They're important to us, you know. They don't cost anything, but they're valuable to us anyways, you know. So I just want to start with that. So this video is kind of centered around a homie of mine who's no longer with us. His name was Bobby, but we called him Bobby Loco. And I knew him since I was a little kid, you know. As a matter of fact, when I got into the neighborhood, he came over to my house. I think I was like 16 years old when he came over to my house and introduced himself and told me, hey, you know, they called me Güero back then. Hey, Güero, you know, I heard you got in the barrio, you know, que haces? Hey, ¿sabes qué? Your canal dropped the flag on me and you came up from behind and picked it up and now it's in your hands. So, you know, we talked a little bit. He showed me some stuff. He had some diamonds and other things, and gave me a little bit of clecha and took off. So I started seeing him here and there, you know, with my older homies once in a while. And in 2003, when I was busted, he pulled up to the yard. Okay, at the time there was 5 of us from Mariana there on the yard. No, with him, there was 5 of us. So there was 4 from the East LA chapter, which is my chapter, and there was 1 homie from the IE chapter, the Indian Empire. We have a Mariana up there too. And, you know, right away, for myself, you know, I gave him a lot of respect as an older homie, you know what I mean? Made sure if he needed anything, you know, if he didn't have it, I got it to him. And I tried to help him out while he was there the best he can. He was already very, very sick. Okay, one day he came out and he showed me all the pills he was taking. He had a rainbow of pills in his hand, every color. He had a gang of them. I didn't ask him what was wrong with him, and we didn't discuss that, right? But he put the yard down twice. I'm going to tell you how that happened. But before I do, I'm going to share some stories about him while we were in there. He was put in a downstairs cell, okay? He walked with a cane. He walked very slow. He had no business being in that prison, okay? This was up in Blythe. It's hot up there, you know, and it was summertime. But at least they put him on a lower cell, you know, on ground floor. And they gave him a lower bunk. Well, one day he came out of the building and he's like, he goes, hey, you know, they want to move me. I go, who wants to move you? He says, oh, the guy who running the block in there. I go, move you to where? He goes, I don't know, some cell upstairs. You know, I don't know the guy. I don't know what's happening. You know, they just came and told me that I was going to be moved. That they were gonna put a bed change in for me. So I walked away. I was a little upset, you know. I went and I talked to the Blaquero, and he basically told me, you know, he had to do it to separate some other guys from each other, you know. I told him, well, there must be somebody else that you can get to switch, you know. This man, he's sick, you know. And then then you're talking about putting him on an upstairs cell. You know, he's downstairs for a reason, and he's got a lower bunk, and he's a sick man. You know, like find somebody else. I mean, you know, there has to be somebody else, or switch him to another building if he's causing a problem or something. You know, it has to be another way to deal with it, not by taking my homie's cell. You know, and he goes, well, all right, well, let me see what I can do. So when I left him, I knew the guy who had the yard very well. We talked a lot, hung around together. You know, we got high together. You know, so I went and I got at him, and I told him, hey, can you do me a favor, man? And this is a situation you think you could get at the Blaquero and ask him to make other arrangements. My homie's, you know, doing bad, you know, and he can't be walking up the stairs, you know, coming down for chow and showers and or whatever. He needs to be downstairs. He's already situated. He's an old man, and I really don't want to see him move, man. You know, he's adjusted right there, and he's functioning the best he could. And I told him a little bit about his medical situation and stuff. So anyways, they ended up later on, the homie called me over and he goes, hey, don't worry, your homie's going to stay where he's at and everything, you know, he's going to be all right. Don't even trip. You know, orale, gracias, I appreciate that. And I left, right? So I don't know how he would have handled it or what would have happened, but it would have been a bad move for him, you know? So that's what I mean by try to help him in any situation, if anything that he needed. I highly respected the guy, you know. He was my older homie, you know. I always remember him, people speaking well of him and stuff, you know. And I grew to love the guy, you know. I had love for my older homie, you know. And his picture's in the thumbnail. I'm gonna put a little black arrow pointing to him. He's kicking back. We're at the park at one of the reunions before he passed away. He didn't make it to the last reunion, but the one before that he made it. He made it that one last time. And where they found him, from what I hear and from what I understand, he was feeling sick. So he used to go to this church, right? So he was feeling sick. So this was already when he was out, right? And he walked to that church, and I guess he was praying or something, you know, like in a praying position, I think they told me, there in front of the church, and that's where he passed away, you know. So that was good. You know, he was reaching out to God at the time when you need to really reach out for him, you know, so you could cross over and be prepared for what happens when you die, you know. Only those that have passed on know. Anyways, you know, so rest in peace, Bobby Loco. There was another time when we were kicking it at the store, and we were at the front of the line, you know, waiting for the store to open, and there was a lot of homies all around us, behind us, right? And all the other homies there were younger homies. I was probably the second oldest under Bobby. And there was this one homie that I always liked to play with Bobby, and I had already spoken to him, and I told him, hey, homie, don't play Bobby so close, you know. He's an older homie. He helped put us on the map, you know, and his response to that was, yeah, well, you know, I did a lot for the barrio too, to keep us on the map. And then I says, regardless, homie, he's an older homie, give him the respect, you know. And the conversation just ended there, right? Well, the next time I had a conversation with this guy, he was kind of sex playing Bobby in the store. He had his arm around him, and, you know, Bobby had a muscle t-shirt on, and he wasn't, you know, husky and building anymore, you know, and he grabbed him on his chest, you know, like pinching his chest, you know, and told him, fucking around, like, oh man, you got nice tits, homie. And I was standing in earshot, and I told him, hey homie, come over here, listen. And he came up to me all hard, you know, like, what's up? I go, hey homie, I already told you about playing with the homie like that, man. And after that, he goes, fuck that, man, I don't want to hear that shit. I go, well, next time you're not going to hear anything, homie. I'm just going to deal with it. And dude just walked away, right? Well, later on, he got at another one of my homies, Woody's, after when I wasn't around, and he had told the homie, I don't care, you could tell him if you want, homie, but I'm not fighting that vato. I said, if he wants him, I'm gonna book him, you know. So sure enough, man, I come back from work, from work change, and the homies right there kicking it, and he calls me over and he goes, "Hey, homie, the homie told me to go ahead and tell you he didn't care, so I'm gonna let you know and give you a heads up. Be trucha with him, homie, because the dude had been in the Bay, had been in the shoe, he'd been around the block, so he knows what those words mean." And you don't be putting that out there unless you're gonna do something. Anyways, the homie told me what his intentions were and stuff. So I said, all right. So next thing you know, he comes with a guy from Ford and a guy from Arizona for a comment that I had made about them, and I told him, yeah, I did say that. We're in prison. I got you guys back, but I'm not gonna be laying with you in the handball cart with my arm around you on the floor and playing with your hair and all that gay stuff, it is what it is, and they go, well, we could respect that, homie. I said, orale, gracias. I go, hey, come here, homie, I'm going to talk to you. I told the other little homie, he came over. I go, hey, homie, the homeboy told me that you said this, and that. He goes, nah, I didn't say that. I go, well, he told me that you said that go ahead and tell me that you didn't care. And after he goes, nah, I didn't say nothing like that. I says, no. I said, well, there he is right there. And he happened to be walking across the yard, headed towards us, right? And I go, we're going to ask him right now, homie. We'll see what's up. So this youngster takes off and starts walking to the homeboy that's crossing the yard. And they crouch down out there, like towards the middle of the yard, and they're like arguing. So I walk over there. By the time I get there, the homie that had told me coming over work exchange told the youngster, hey, homie, you did say that, homie. You told me go ahead and tell him, homie. I told him, like, what's up? So I told him, I go, there it is there, homie. So scared. If you want, go get your shit. I already got mine right here. Go get your shit, and we'll go in your house, or we'll go in my house, and we're going to handle this stuff. And he goes, nah, homie, it's not that serious. It ain't like that, And I go, hey, homie, well, you got to keep your mouth shut. You can't be talking shit like that, homie, because to me, it's serious. It's that serious, And after that, he goes, nah, I don't remember saying that. If I did, Spencer, And he's a homie, from my barrio, from here, right here. All right, homie. Anyways, this was behind Bobby. For him, sex playing Bobby. For one thing, there's no sex playing in prison, man. And he did it in front of all the other homies behind us. We're surrounded by all these sureños that are with the business. And he's out here acting like that with my homie, and so I called him on it, and I think it was the right thing to do, whatever, but I didn't like my homeboy being made to look bad, Anyways, me and Bobby are walking the yard, right, around the track. We're going slow. We're going at his pace, and he starts to lose his balance, and he starts falling to the right. So I go over and I grab him by his shirt, because I know he's going down. And as he's going down, I'm trying to pull him up, but he's too heavy for me. He's a big dude. And then the other homie on the other side grabbed him, and now we're not trying to hold him up. Now we're trying to lay him down softly so he doesn't fucking smash himself on the track, right? But the tower catches it, and he fucking puts the yard down, right? And I'm worried, homie's not breathing, right? So I'm like hitting him tapping on his face, and I'm, hey, Bobby, hey, homie, you all right? Wake up, homie, breathe, and I pushed on his chest a little bit. I don't know what to do, But Bobby, I'm yelling, Bobby, and get down. They got a bunch of huras coming at me, and they have their shit in their hand and their spray and stuff. And I go, hey, man, some man down. I ain't doing shit to him. They go, get away from him. I go, well, hurry your ass up, man. He's not breathing. So I back up. They come and they gaffle me up. They gaffle the other homie up, and they walk us off, right? And they start treating the homie, So there in the yard, the homie came back, and, they took him into medical. Then from medical, he went to his building, kicked it there for a couple of days. And then he comes back out, and the same day he came out, the same thing happened, man. He fucking went down. Yeah, get down, get down. Everybody, they laid the whole yard down, man. But this time they had to take my homie. You know, they took him and treated him, and you know, my memory's bad. I don't know if they moved them or they moved me. You know, but we got separated. Next time I seen him, I had seen him at the reunion. You know, and we had a good time. We had some laughs. You know, we shared some memories and stuff. And he had no business, man, being out there in Blythe, man. It was just too damn hot. He was too damn sick. But that's how CDC is, man. They put you where they want, where they can, and they don't. Your condition doesn't really matter that much. You know what I mean? They took all of that and him to go through all of that, where he should have been on somewhere where, you know, for one thing, he had no business on a 3-yard, man. He could barely walk. You know, like what was he gonna do? You know. And definitely didn't have no business out there in the middle of the desert, you know. But anyways, yeah, he's in heaven now, and he's not worried about these trivial things that we go through, that we suffer so seriously over. The homie right now is I pray sleeping with the angels, and I'll see him someday, you know. So rest in peace, Bobby Loco de la Mariana Mara, Pee Wee Cherries, I believe. If not, he's a little cherry. He may be a little cherry, but I know he's an older homie. But yeah, he's a good dude, man. So anyways, that's my story with Bobby and Big Bobby putting down the yard. All right, man. You guys take it easy. Just wanted to share this little story. And stay free, people, man. Stay out from behind them walls. Because all kinds of fucked up, funny shit happens on the other side of the walls, man. You want to be on this side, enjoying your freedom. So God bless you. God bless your family. And I hope to see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you very much.